It's Monday night, time for some straight talk. This is your host, Matt Hasley, coming at you. We got a lot of weird things going on. I'm the newest millionaire. Can you believe it? And you won't believe it. So, man, my lucky day. I guess I should have. I didn't think about it. I should have hashtag it my lucky day. But, no. A lot of stuff going on. We got the Masters 2 weeks. We got match play went on. What a great match that was between Jon Rahm and Dustin Johnson. Man. I got a senior letter I want to talk about. Also, dope on dope. Wow. How can you? I guess you really got to be a dope. But, yes, they are. And then I want people's intake on Batman, or actually the Batman villain getting arrested. So, tell me what you think about that. But no, it was just kind of a weird day. Before we get started, I want to thank our sponsors out there, eat24.com. Have you yet? Well, log on to eat24.com, download that app for your favorite mobile device. Click, order and eat. Really, it's a food truck in your pants. It's that easy. Also, hotsaucevault.com. Check out Louie at hotsaucevault.com. He's got hottest of the hot. Wimpy for those wimp. And you name it, log on to hotsaucevault.com. Gag gifts, he's got it. But no, over the weekend we had the World Golf Championships. We had first match was in the morning. DJ went against Tanahara. DJ ended up winning 1-up. So Jon Rahm went against Bill Haas. He beat Bill Haas 3-2. So the afternoon match was a consolation match between Tanahara and Bill Haas. Tanahara gets a hole-in-one. I mean, that was a cool shot. But Bill Haas ended up beating him. And but the match was DJ and Jon Rahm. I mean, it looked like it was going to be a runaway. I mean, you saw DJ was just went out and he was like 5 up in the first 6 or 7 holes. I mean, it was crazy. And I'm going, oh my God, this is going to be a rout. This is going to be, it was like 5 up through 8 or something like that. And you're going, oh, come on. You just want it to be competitive. You don't want to see, a match where one side just totally demolishes the other. Because, I mean, it's just not fun to watch. You hate to see somebody get beat that way. And especially just ruins the ratings. But to add some, spark to it, Jon Rahm come back. I mean, what a great comeback. He got it all the way to within, I don't know if he was back to even or 1 up. But it was just crazy. I mean, it was just unreal. It looked like he was going to tie it up. They get on the last hole. Rahm hits it over the green with driver. 370 or 380 yards. Bounce perfect down the hill, up and over the green. Pitch, get up and down, makes birdie. Dustin Johnson laid up to the top of the hill. He's got to get up and down to keep his 1-up lead. Dustin Johnson hits it, probably, 15 feet. Jon Rahm chips it onto the green. Can't he get him within 15 feet? He's like stuck on the top of the hill. I was just shocked. Then he had to do his, he had what we call a FISO. And if you're not sure what a FISO is in golf terms, it's not a proper term, but it's called F, I'm still out. And you fill in the F word. Yeah. So, yep. It's one of those where you don't like to have. But, he ended up making a good run on it, but it made it pretty much easy work for DJ. DJ put it up to about 2 feet and then made it from there. 3 in a row. He's on fire. He didn't have his best game. And really, everybody, they're talking about how these guys are spraying it all over the place. Well, they had wind gusts up to 35 miles an hour. I don't know if you play a lot of golf. 35 miles an hour takes that little golf ball and throws it all over the place. Even the best players in the world. And it just plays heck with your putting. So, who's going to win this week? Well, they got the Shell Houston Open Well, DJ's not going to win because DJ withdrew. And I don't blame him because he's in that spot where he's, grooving it for the Masters. A lot of the tour players, that's what they do. They set their game for the big tournaments. Right now they say Masters odds. Dustin Johnson's 5-1 odds. Jordan Spieth is 7-1. McIlroy's 15-2. Jason Day's 15-1 odds. I don't know, how good odds those are going to be. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it depending on how his mother is. That's what he said. He may still WD depending on how his mom is. I don't blame him there. 21 odds, John Rahm, Justin Rose, Phil Mickelson, and Hideki Matsuyama. 25-1, Ricky Fowler and Henrik Stenson. Bubba Watson, I don't know how he goes off at 30-1. Bubba being a two-time Masters champ, you think he might have a better, chance or better odds than that. But Bubba, Adam Scott, Sergio Garcia, and Justin Thomas. You got two Masters champions in there. I think their odds could be a little higher. Joe, welcome to the show. And then you got 40-1 odds, Brandt Snedeker, Patrick Reed, and Paul Casey. And then you got 50-1 odds, Louis Oosthuizen, Matt Kuchar, and Terrell Hatton. The one that gets me is 80-1 odds, Zach Johnson, former Masters champion, and also Charles Schwartzel, former Masters champion. You think they'd have a little bit better odds than 80-1. So, and then 100-1 odds, right now, 100-1, Tiger Woods. And last year's Masters champion, Danny Willett. So, who, got a couple bucks you want to put on Tiger? Who knows? You might win you some. But I hope he plays. That's the biggest thing. So, Masters going by. You got coming up 2 weeks. You got the Shell Houston Open this coming week. It says, I am with one of my, what? Starlets? Land the plane. Prayers. Yeah, right. You want to hear about my lotto? About me? Well, before I get in that, I want to do is tell everybody. Dustin Johnson won $1.66 million. John Rahm won $1,045,000. And for third place, Bill Haas won a respective $678,000. And fourth place, to come in fourth, $545,000. Cool, little over $500,000. Not bad. But no, I was contacted today via Facebook, which they don't lie. Facebook doesn't lie. But I was contacted today and informed. Let's see here. I can tell you exactly. It says that Londina, welcome to the show. I was selected to receive $1 million. Also, a 2017 Jeep Wrangler and a 55-inch smart Samsung TV. Isn't that awesome? $1 million. So, Joe's not liking my background video. I did it for my golf segment, Joe, so here, I'll give you something a little bit better that you'll like. How's this? Maybe a little ISIS in the background there. Yeah, don't fire at the United States military. That's the way I think. But, hey, who's to know? Who to know Monday? Mondays are, crappy Mondays? Well, who to know I'd become a millionaire on Monday? I mean, are you kidding me? I'm just waiting for it now. Can't wait till they send it to me. I'm going to send them. I've been back and forth messaging with them. I just haven't given them any real information, but, they tell me if I give them my name, my telephone number, and some other information, or my address and all that, they'll be able to do is start my winning winning paperwork. And I'm going to send him a message tomorrow and ask him. I went to my Jeep dealership here to pick up my new vehicle, and they knew nothing about it. So I thought they were going to do is contact me. But, you think about that. It's one of those daily deals. Just random. It was like lightning strike. Who wants to be a millionaire? Well, of course I do. Yes. I mean, and if I win $1 million, I'm buying Joe a new computer. Just because I care about him that much. I'm going to buy him one that he can actually get connected without having to have somebody do it for him. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm a millionaire. And also, who knows? I might also be that relative to that Nigerian Prince they keep telling me. I don't know. I think he keeps wanting to send me this, $400 million as long as I send him a cashier's check for so much. Oh, of course, it's totally agreeable. I mean, why not? But, no. It's Super Monday. Super Monday. Gotta look at it like that. Yeah, you think about waking up today and didn't know I'd be a millionaire. So, we have, out golfing, see a big gator, don't mess with it. Well, apparently, they struck one in the head, and it got a little pissed off and ate the guy's golf ball. So, yeah, that gives you a good idea. Leave it alone. I don't mess with gators. Sorry. We had, what else do we have? Oh, I did want to do is talk about my son. My oldest son, he's graduating from high school this year. Did a little story. It was a senior letter I had to write in. And I wanted to read the senior letter I wrote for him. So not to be too much, but I just wanted to do. I said, in case he's listening, I don't know if he probably isn't, but I wish he was. It says, "What an amazing young man you have grown to be. It seems only a short time ago I found you covered in a superhero bandages. I asked you what was wrong, and you proceeded to tell me that you've been bleeding a lot. I said, then he scraped his head for real, and you were looking for bandages and asked if I had any. I remember telling you, check with your sister. Apparently, you looked on your own and returned later with a maxi pad, asking me if it was a bandage. I didn't add in the part in the story there about where I told your mother that technically he was correct, but and she yelled at me. Says, I'm so proud to see you grown up and earned a black belt in Taekwondo, worked with the Explorers program, and ultimately chose the military academy. It seems not long ago you're learning how to ride a bike, and wow, how time flies. I cherished working with you at the golf course, and I know you will do great. Love, Dad." So, yeah, it's one of those, senior letter, I just want to do is write him something that, he could cherish, and who knows, you never know. But I better turn this off. Joe's starting to get ear sick looking at all this. Oop, that might not be the one I want. But there we go. There, that's much better. Maybe Joe, that'll. So, but no, we. Hey, if you guys want to do is chime in, give me a little thumbs up, let me know you're here. Something you want to talk about. But there was a story out, and it came out in the news, and I don't know if you saw it, about, well, there's several, but this was one that came out today, where guy in Virginia, he was arrested, dressed as the Joker in the Batman villain. But he was carrying a sword, which I can understand that. But it says police in Virginia said they arrested a man dressed as the Batman villain, the Joker, after receiving several calls about him walking around with a sword. The Winchester Police Department said its emergency communications center received several calls about 2 p.m. Friday about a suspicious male dressed as a Joker. Specifically, the incarnation played by Heath Ledger in the 2008 Dark Knight. Well, they got a picture of him. He does look pretty good. The man was intercepted by officers. Let's see here. And it says police have received several similar reports over the last week. Officers do not believe there were additional suspects, but want to remind community of the seriousness of the crime. Please remember, it is a felony. And I'm like, felony? Peter, welcome to the show. They said it's a felony to wear a mask or cover your face in public. I'm like, are you kidding me? A felony. Not a misdemeanor, a felony. So if you're sitting there in the middle of winter and you got a mask on, or one of those, I don't know, to cover your face, and it becomes a felony? Sam, welcome to the show. God, a long time. But I'm like, yeah, I can understand maybe being picked up for carrying a sword. But a mask? It's a felony? Sam, you can tell me in Texas law, me being a former Texas police officer, but I don't know what the law would be in Texas or even in Iowa about what it is for wearing a mask in public. A pretty good idea. If you wore a mask into a bank, they're probably going to arrest you. But this is in Virginia. It says that it's a felony. And I'm like, what would the felony be considered? Where do they, how do you get that law passed? With as many liberal laws as there are out there, I can't believe that one would even pass over. So, yeah, I heard that today. And I could understand the sword being in public, carrying it around. You can get them with a dangerous weapon or whatever or something like that. But to sit there and say that the mask was the felony, and it mentions nothing in the article about him carrying the sword and being charged with carrying a deadly weapon or something like that. So for him to be picked up based on the mask, God, don't women wear that technically a mask every day when they put on makeup and stuff like that? It says, yeah, don't believe it's the law here, but you will be checked out. That is for sure. Actually, I don't know if it's... Peter, I don't know if that's actually... Peter said he was a felon driving through Illinois with a sidearm on his way to Florida. As long as it's... If it's on your hip, yeah, well, Illinois, that's the goofiest thing. I can't understand that. Where Iowa recognizes Illinois, but Illinois doesn't recognize Iowa's concealed carry. And I'm like, well, pretty soon they're going to make it where they're going to pass it, federally, and then they will. You won't, as long as you got a concealed carry in your state, you'll be able to travel from state to state, and you should be able to. If you've already gone through and you've, if you're not prior military and you've gone through and you've, obtained your concealed carry and you went through the training and all that, you should be able to carry it if you're traveling. Yeah, constitutional carry. I agree. Exactly. It makes total sense that you should be able to carry it. Iowa. You're kind of, there's certain places where I'm, you're wondering where you tread on, where, how close, because, I go in and pick up my kid at school. Well, I don't go onto the property with my weapon, but how close and where do they consider the property line? Is a parking lot, whatever. Sometimes it's a little leery whether you're going to get in trouble. Well, I know most of the police officers here, that a lot of them that, play golf. So, I don't think that, and I'm not out there doing anything stupid with it anyway. You know, a lot of people, we had a discussion about, when you carry what, you don't pull your weapon for any reason unless you plan on using that. You better be defending yourself. You're not pulling around to sit there and go, hey, look at me, like Barney Fife, and wave it around, kind of like in, the second Lethal Weapon when he's running around holding it. I mean, it's not the way it is. You pull that weapon out, and if you are in a shooting, you're on the line, Florida. Rub it in, thanks. Yeah, it was only like 40-some degrees here, and spitting rain half the day. So, but when you pull your weapon, and if you're somehow into a scenario where you're involved in a shoot scenario, or if you're involved in where somehow you have to defend yourself. Yeah, 81. Thanks. What's the temperature there in San Antonio, Sam? Tell me. It's probably a lot warmer than it is here, but no. So if you're involved in that shooting scenario, you better be ready to be taken down hard, because it's just like, when the officers get there, they don't know who's good and who's bad. They're going to take everybody down, then they'll sort everything out later. So don't sit there and go, hey, I'm a concealed carrier, I'm in the right. No, you may not be in the right. Even though you think you are, you may not be in the right. So you better do is really research your proverbial SHIT if you plan on being protected. And one thing I always do, and I've got calls out to them, trying to get, they've responded back, going to try to get the USCCA, which United States Concealed Carry Association, to have them come on and do an interview and tell you how easy it is, and a lot of people don't understand about how easy it is to purchase insurance for yourself if you're a concealed carrier. It makes sense to protect yourself. Just like protecting yourself if you got renter's insurance for an apartment or renting for your house or your car. But to have concealed carry insurance, it's almost, a no-brainer anymore. But, no, we had a gentleman here. I just like, people are stupid. Guy apparently had 10 pounds of marijuana mailed to him. He, let's see where I got my article here. It says, I'm trying to find, here we go. He was busted after receiving 10 pounds of marijuana in the mail. This is a 25-year-old Davenport man is facing charges of peddling marijuana, and his brother mailed him 10 pounds of drug to sell locally. They mailed it through the U.S. Postal Service. Postal inspectors team with Davenport Police and charged with one count each of possession with intent to deliver less than 50 kilograms of marijuana, conspiracy to possess and deliver less than 50 kilograms of marijuana, and failure to fix an Iowa drug tax stamp. Each charge is a Class D felony that carries at prison up to 5 years. I would have thought it'd be higher than that. But I was just like, you think that, mailing 10 pounds of marijuana. But I mean, they have, it wouldn't surprise me them having dogs and everything in the Postal Service, because with all the stuff with anthrax and different things going through the mail and people sending drugs like that, that it's almost a no-brainer for them to have a dog that can detect that. Yeah, this is your brain. Gene, welcome to the show. Yeah, this is your brain on drugs. Well, this is your brain on stupidity. I just can't believe that, you don't think that all of a sudden you go, boom, 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 you get the knock on the door and, is this your package? Uh, well, no. Why the hell would my brother be sending that to me? Not right. So, yeah, you see, another one is, it was large bale of marijuana washes up on a Florida beach. So you said you're where in Florida, Lanai? Were you down there when that large bale of marijuana washed up on the beach there, Peter? Apparently, man taking a morning walk on the beach found an unusual huge bundle of marijuana rolled up like a giant cigar. It says, it was in Daytona Beach, spotted the bundle, which had a red substance on it, initially feared was blood. He thought it was a body. Ends up being 10 pounds, including water weight. So, but yeah, I'm sure that there's a lot of stuff that gets dumped in the water once the, the customs people see them coming over. So they end up doing is dumping it in the water. I don't know. Still big business. But there was a guy that went to get a license plate. And his last name was Grabher. Spelled Grabher. His actual name. He originally got the license plate. But they deemed it. He got the license plate for his father in 1991. But in December, he received a letter from the Registrar of Motor Vehicles saying the vanity plate was being revoked after a complaint. He said the letter branded his license plate socially unacceptable because it read as "grab her," which could be seen as promoting violence against women. So I got in there and I went, okay, what other plates have been banned through the certain states or whatever? And I found this article that did. Well, there's one for Texas. And it was Fat Kid. I was like, why? Another one for Alabama was Lucifer. Alaska, the last frontier, and their band plate was 12-pack. I'm like, really? Come on. Another one in Arizona was alcohol. They banned that one. Arkansas, another one was badass. Nothing for California was Fokker, F-O-C-K-E-R. Come on. That's from the movie. And then Colorado. This is a classic cat dog. Yeah, anything that refers to a sexual innuendo. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Connecticut. Ho, ho, ho. Apparently they don't like Christmas out there in Connecticut, so they banned that one. Cop. I knew a gentleman in Texas had his last name, which was a short name, and it said, well, it was 5-0 and then his last name. So, and Sam probably knows who he is, so I won't say him out loud, but yeah, it was his plate on the back of his car. And another one here in Florida, it was OMG Go. Yeah, oh my God, go, yeah. Next one was Georgia. It says, I love LUV guns. So, no, that one was banned. Hawaii. Too local for you. Yeah, I could see that one down in San Antonio. Down in Texas. Being local, crazy. Idaho. Aw, crap. That was banned. AWCRAP. And then, this is a good one. In Illinois, HLYSHT. Well, you could figure that one out. Holy you know what. And in Indiana, felony. That was banned. And in Iowa, Never seen this one, and you won't because it's too SEXE for you. Too sexy for you. Yeah, that was banned. That was in Polk, Iowa. Yeah. Kansas. HWNT SHT haunt. You know what? And the funny thing about it was a veteran plate. And then in Kentucky, dang it. You know, it takes a while to think these things up, to finally find one that you like and that's not already in use, and then they ban it. And then another one is BGPMPN, Big Pimpin', yeah. So, that was Indiana. And then Maine, this is a great one, and I can't believe that they banned this. Biotch, BEEOTCH. And then in Maryland, toilet. In Massachusetts, Adidas. So, and in Michigan, I don't know why this one would be bad or banned, but War, SUX, War sucks. So, I have to agree with him there, yep. And then Minnesota, they banned this one. You could be a teacher. ABC 1234. I think that's John Podesta's password for his email. Mississippi DUI. And I can't read what state it is, but it says, because it's got a vanity plate around the outside of the plate. Here, they're banned in Iowa. You can't have the vanity out around the outside of the plate. But Boogers is the BOOG3RS. Montana, Drunk. You got Nebraska, Iwana. Nevada, Immoral. Yeah, that's probably pretty true there. Probably a member of the, what is that, the Bunny, whatever it is, ranch out there. I can't think of the name of it. New Hampshire, 666. And their thing, it says, live free or die right above it. So, yeah. New Jersey, Atheist. New Mexico, Smack. New York, and this is classic. I can't believe this would not. This is, you think? I think it was to be classic for New York. Up Yours. Up YURZ. Yeah, I think that would be just classic for New York. And North Carolina, Police. I could see not having it, banning that, unless you are police, you know. North Dakota, Shots, SHOTZ. Looks like Ohio, Pigs, PIGS. Oklahoma, Slammer. Oregon, TFN Cute. 2FN Cute, yeah. And Pennsylvania, Got Beer. And Rhode Island, FBI. South Carolina, A-Hole. South Dakota, Bacardi, and it's a wheelchair plate, given that, you know. Tennessee, Jesus. Utah, BG Booty. Vermont, Wench. Virginia, Chateau. Washington, Slayer. West Virginia, Termin 8U. So, Wisconsin, Seduce. University of Wyoming plate, Ball In. And that's it. So, you know, I've seen where they do is they ban plates for vanity plates if they get certain numbers. The one I saw was YGO55. So, and I'm sure that they banned the YGO65, but or YGO70. So, but yeah, I never wanted a vanity plate because I didn't want anybody seeing every time they go, oh, I remember that car. I know that guy. You know, so that way it just, if it's a random plate where nobody really recognizes it, then it's better off that way. But no, I wanted to do is there was a story out where an older couple that actually was got up on a wrong plane. They were heading for Michigan and ended up in New York on a wrong plane. I don't know how you do that even nowadays. How do you get in? How the airport lets you? It says their relatives dropped them off Wednesday at Fort Lauderdale Airport for their flight to Grand Rapids, Michigan. The couple who were in wheelchairs accidentally ended up at a gate next to one for their intended flight and boarded a plane that flew them to Ogdensburg, New York, on the border with Ontario. I don't know how you get on there without them checking your ticket. So, and the thing about it is these two, now I think the airline should pay for it. It's not their fault they got on the wrong flight or they allowed them to get on the wrong flight. It's the airlines. So, I had a friend of mine. He was on his way to New Orleans. And I hope he's not listening right now because if he is, he'll probably laugh at it. But he hates flying, cannot stand to fly. He's claustrophobic. He's afraid of heights. Doesn't like to fly. Gets really freaks out when he has to fly. So he would go down for the superintendent show in New Orleans every year when they had it down there. And he had a travel agency, booked all his travel stuff. He told them where he's going. They set up his flight, and he'd have to take medication just to be able to fly because it bothered him so much to fly. He was, I don't know if it's Xanax or whatever it is to calm him down. Well, so he was so nervous he had to take a couple. So he's waiting to fly, and his wife's with him. His wife's not paying attention to anything, got the tickets, whatever. They get on the plane. They're going in, they're flying in, and his wife looks out the window. He won't look out the window because he can't stand to fly. He's medicated. And his wife says, "Is there supposed to be snow on the ground in New Orleans?" And he goes, "There better not be." And she says, well, there is. Well, they flew into Newark, New Jersey. The travel agency booked the wrong airport code and accidentally sent them on a flight to Newark, New Jersey. So at the last minute, to try to get a flight from Newark, New Jersey to New Orleans is rather expensive. So he does. He gets a flight, but he's already freaking out already. So he's got to take more of his medication to be able to, to get along. And his wife's trying to talk to the airline. They get his flight. Costs them, I don't know, like $1,100 for both of them to fly one way last minute to fly to New Orleans. He gets to New Orleans. They screw up his hotel room. And he gets a room. One of the people recognized him, and he had his flight, his hotel stuff a long time back. I just have to laugh because he goes into the room, and they booked him one of the last rooms they had. And it was way up at the top of the hotel, one of the expensive suites, as you want to call it, because they didn't have anywhere else to put him. So he walks into the room, and the window's from floor to ceiling. And he had to push all the furniture up against the window just so he could actually get out, walk over to get into bed because he was so afraid of falling out the window in the middle of the night when he got up. I'm just like, yeah, to be that afraid of heights. So, yeah, pretty wild. You don't see that anymore. You don't see them getting on wrong flights. They do so well. Well, I wouldn't say well, but they do. They check you constantly. I just find it hard to believe that somebody can actually have a wrong ticket and get on a flight and then not run into somebody's seat or something and say, hey, what's the deal? These people aren't supposed to be on this flight. So, yeah, that's kind of crazy. You feel for them because you know that people are, that couple that are in wheelchairs, they're just probably freaking out, wondering what's wrong. What did they do? It's sad, and, you really feel for that couple. Hopefully that nothing went wrong and they got home and, there's probably somebody waiting for them when they got to where they were going. Yeah. Another story about a guy who got arrested. And this is just one of those where guy being stupid. Florida man was charged after videos posted to social media showed him blocking traffic by eating pancakes at a table he set up in an intersection. So he's just being an idiot. It was in Lakeland Police Department. Officers received a call about 10:50 a.m. on Tuesday about a man sitting on a folding chair in a crosswalk blocking the eastbound lanes. The man was gone by the time police arrived, but officers later discovered the video footage of the social media showing the man sitting in a folding chair eating pancakes from the table set up in front of his chair. Investigators said several people on Facebook identified the man. So, who lives about 100 yards south of the intersection, admitted eating pancakes in the intersection as a prank. I think they need to do that with all the people that are blocking. If they're going to go up, video every one of them. If they don't get arrested at that time, arrest them later. Because if you're blocking traffic, where they were, blocking traffic because they're protesting, I think it's ridiculous. I'm sorry. If you want to protest in front of the Capitol building, or protest in front of the courthouse, or protest in front of the White House, or protest in front of someplace and sit there, whatever. That's fine. If you do it peacefully, you don't cause disruption to other people. I used to laugh every time somebody come golfing and they have a big party and they're all wanting to get drunk and act stupid. They go, hey, it's his birthday, or he's getting married. I go, yeah, he's getting married. Not everybody on the course is getting married with him, or not everybody's partying with you. You got to think of that. So, I don't think that somebody, when they sit there and they have a little, they want to block traffic or do something stupid. They think it's funny, but they don't realize what they're causing. It's the disruption. What if it causes somebody to get fired because they block the traffic thinking they're funny? A lot of people, they don't care. But I like the fact that he gets arrested or punished for what he did. He probably won't stop and have flapjacks. I always love that. What is it? Groundhog Day. Is it too early for flapjacks? Yeah. They had Apple. I don't know if you got an Apple phone or not. Well, apparently, Apple's being blackmailed. Apparently, a mischievous band of hackers is reportedly trying to shake down Apple over a large amount of stolen iPhone credentials, including iCloud and other Apple email accounts. The attackers, who identified themselves as Turkish crime family, are seeking to receive $75,000 in Bitcoin, or the less known alternative Ethereum, whatever Ethereum is. I've never heard of that. I've heard of Bitcoin, but never Ethereum. Yeah, Waffle House spokesman. Yeah, it was a Waffle House. But they said they will, however, also settle for $100,000 worth of iTunes gift cards. I've seen stories out where they hijack some, like, police department or sheriff department and hold them ransom until they pay a certain amount. That's crazy. But apparently, if Apple doesn't come out, if it refuses to comply with the request by April 7th, according to Motherboard, the Turkish crime family claims it has access to over 300 million breached Apple accounts, and says they are going to shut down your phone. So you think about that. Imagine if they're going to wipe your phone. It says, and then the article says, better think twice before putting a nude pic archive in the cloud. So, yeah. So, wiener, don't post your wiener. Yeah. But, no. I just... They were talking, one of the ladies the other day on Joe Rock's show, and she's talking about how guys will send pics of their junk to people, to women, and I'm like, well, Bitcoin is untraceable currency, that's why. If you got Bitcoin, it's supposed to be untraceable to where, and it's good pretty much, all over. I don't know. I don't deal too much in Bitcoins, Gene, so I don't know. I don't have any. I deal in shrink funds. Buy high, sell low. Yeah. But, you think about, Apple and all these technology companies, and they're getting attacked, and then you got police departments getting attacked. Tell you what, I don't think anything's safe anymore. Although, if you happen to listen to the news, I don't know if you're for or against Trump, doesn't matter. But I had to laugh where, they were the daily press briefing where Spicer came out, and they've been on Spicer about Trump's former campaign manager way back. There was 5 months, for 5 months he was with the campaign, and now he's gone. And Spicer just lit up the media. So, yeah, I haven't been talking too much about the politics lately because it's just it's sickening and ridiculous. But I did. Right now we got, what do you call it, spring break going on in a lot of places. Last week was spring break for my kids here. Some of them are going on this week. But you see a lot of people down in, like, Florida and stuff like that, and they're out underage drinking. You got to be careful. We had, you think about that. I watched, it was a episode of Live PD, actual live, live as it's going. And they went into a party and they must have arrested 50 kids. They were all underage. So, you got to be careful what you do out there. People go out there and they get stupid and end up, this is a bad time when you see abductions, and you see like this. I mean, they're showing people on TV right now. Yeah, that's just what your parents want to see, But you see a lot of abductions go on right now. They had one where it come out in the news where a young kid saw them abduct this girl, and he knew who the girl was, and they went to help the police look for this. And they saw a truck trying to evade a little, the police and everything. And he rode up alongside the guy. It says, "I see you." And the guy stopped, let the girl out of the truck, and took off. And they're still looking for the guy. But, I mean, it's scary to think, what do you think would have happened to that kid if this young man wouldn't have done something about it? I just blows my mind to think people, just how evil people are. Yeah, so we were so lucky when we were young kids. They just tell us to go home. Yeah, when I was a kid, I don't drink now. I don't drink and drive at all. But when I was a kid, they broke into my car, stole my radio out of it, and I asked the officer as he was going down the alley, right behind the bar I was at, and I said, "Hey, they broke into my car." He goes, "Drive it home, sleep it off, call it in tomorrow." I was okay, and I did. But yeah, it's times have changed. Well, I mean, it's just, you see no tolerance. You see the laws that are dropping down went from 0.10 to 0.08 to 0.05 now they're going. I mean, it's changing more and more. And everybody thinks, oh, it's big business for... No, it's not big business for them. Oh, my son's got his little finger shoes he just showed me. He wanted to freak me out. I think it's just weird. But, no, so, I think with all the advantages you have nowadays with Uber and Lyft and, any type of ride sharing or having a designated driver or a cab, be safe, do a ride share, or give somebody get you a ride. Do something rather than driving. You never live with yourself for running and killing somebody. It's not worth it. And it's not worth the $8,000 to $10,000 hit that it costs you, and possible loss of job. They have one here where I don't know where, I can't remember. It's not locally here, but where the one officer got arrested for DUI as a police officer. I mean, what is he going to do? That's his job. His job is to have a license to drive the car to patrol. I know with the city of Davenport that if you get arrested for DUI, you're automatically terminated. I don't know about the PD, but I know civil service. But I know that if you get any other position in the city, if it requires you to have a car to drive, I think you're terminated. I knew he was a plumber for the city, and he got arrested for DUI, and they terminated his position. It was quite a few years back. Yeah, it's just not worth taking the chance. And nowadays, when you go out, it doesn't matter where you're at. You think, oh, I live in a small town. There's nothing that happens. I'm sorry, but yes, there's things that happen. Was it not? I don't know if it was last year or the year before. Within 3 or 4 blocks of my mom and dad's house, which was a nice neighborhood to grow up in, there was 2 murders within 2 blocks of each other, or a block and a half from each other, within a week. I mean, it's crazy what's going on nowadays. And everybody goes, oh, it's the gun's fault. No, I'm sorry, the gun doesn't pull its own trigger. You can set up all the laws you want. The gun doesn't do that. The gun doesn't stab the guy. The gun... I saw a thing on Facebook where over in Europe, they're having knife turn-ins. I'm like, are you kidding me? What are the next going to do? They're going to drop your keys to your car in the basket and say, okay, I'm giving up driving? He ran people down with a car. Then he stabbed somebody. The guy over in London, he was... It didn't matter what he was going to do. He was going to do something evil no matter what. Somehow he's got it in his head that he gets some, unbelievable promise given to him for doing something. I don't know. It's just crazy. You think about way times have changed for when we were kids to now. And then what is it going to be 20 years from now? It's sad. And the total disrespect and lack of, Yeah, lack of respect for law enforcement is crazy. It's gone through, and the media just pumps it up. So I pray that I got a lot of friends of mine that are still in law enforcement, and I pray that they come home safe every night. I had one friend of mine stop by and talk to me at work, and when he walked in, I thought maybe he was talking about the red light cameras. I didn't realize he was listening to the show. I thought he was telling me that he caught me running one of the lights or something, He was going, those red light cameras don't kick it. And I was like, oh, crap, did I get caught running a red light? And he's coming to tell me. So, but no, he was just telling me that he heard me talking about it. Oh, yeah, Gene, exactly. Ferguson was built up on a lie. Hands up, don't shoot. Didn't ever had his hands up. So, no, it's it's a tough situation. We had one incident here in Davenport where officer had to shoot a guy where the guy was on top of him on the Centennial Bridge here, and he was attacking him. He'd already tasered him once, and the tasers must not have stuck into him, but they had. Just because you taser a person doesn't mean it stops them. Some people respond differently. They had a gentleman, young officer, 23 years old, tased a guy, and the guy ended up shooting him 3 times after he was tased. And the officer died. He was a 23-year-old officer. That's sad. So, yeah, it's just nuts to think of what, what's it going to be like 20 years from now? So, I'm afraid for my kids as they grow up. I got one that's 11. I hope I'm around 20 years from now. That's the biggest thing. So, yeah, it's hopefully, after winning that $1 million today and that brand new Jeep and the 55-inch smart TV, God, I want them. That would be awesome just to be able to do is make them have to really pay me that, because I think it's one of those Nigerian scams. But I asked them to give me information about their company, and they still haven't done that yet. So just the way they worded things just doesn't sound legit. So, yeah. So, you think if it's too good to be true, well, then generally it really is too good to be true. But I did find my lucky penny today, or yesterday, so, and hoping that luck kicks in. So, it's that Super Monday. Who knows? I might be the next millionaire. So, or the next in line for the throne of the Nigerian Prince. Yeah. No, I don't know. Whatever. So, well, it's that time of the night. We're a fast hour. Hard to believe we did an hour this quick. We'll be back Wednesday night. Hey, it's been fun. We'll Shell Houston Open this week. Next week, Masters. So, yeah. Let me give you my account number. I'll type it to you. Sure thing. Would you like anything else? My middle name and my closest friend that I grew up with address. Street he lived on, or whatever they call that. Yeah. All right. Well, everybody have a great night. We'll see you on Wednesday night. Be safe. And, if you see something, say something. We'll see you then.